appreciated, YB. Now we will hear from Secretary Henrique Miguel, Secretary of Science and Technology for Digital Transformation of the Brazilian Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, MCTI. He will present an overview of the semiconductor sector in Brazil. So let me introduce Secretary Henrique. Secretary Henrique graduated in electronic engineering from the University of Brasilia and has extensive experience in the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation. Secretary Miguel has led several committees of industrial and technological policies, including those of the National Science, Technology and Innovation Strategy, and for the elaboration of the support program for technological and industrial development of the semiconductor industry, PADIS, established in 2007. Secretary Miguel, I can see your slides and you now have 10 minutes, Secretary Miguel. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Henrique de Oliveira Miguel. I am an electronic engineer. And since 1987, I have worked at Ministry of Science and Technology. Since April, I have held the position of Secretary of Science and Technology for Digital Transformation at the Brazilian Ministry of Science and Technology and Innovation. Firstly, I would like to congratulate the representatives of Malaysia, Brazilian and Malaysian government, embassies, Asian and SEMI, MCTI, and ABSEMI, and the R&D institutions, and well as everyone who is participating in this webinar. Special thanks to the organizers for this event. In the next minutes, I will show us a general overview of the semiconductors topic here in Brazil, resumed in a few slides, bringing past, current, and future actions from the federal government's point of view. Thank you very much for your attention. Please confirm, did you see my presentation or not?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I changed to the next slides. Please confirm. It's okay?
Not yet. Yes, we can see your next slide. Thank you.
Yes? Okay. These slides shows a summarized timeline with the main actions that have been carried out in the last 20 years. As a historical context, it is important to highlight that we already had a semiconductor ecosystem in the 80s years, with large companies, but which unfortunately ended in the 19 years. Since 2007, the most important public policies is called PADIS, which I will explain in the next slides. PADIS stands for Semiconductor Industry Development Support Program. It was created in 2007, and its main objectives are encourage R&D in semiconductors in the country, stimulate the implementation, expansion, and consolidation of national productive capacity, foster and strengthen the industry academia and industry ITO integration. As secondary objectives, we have developing the semiconductor production chain in Brazil, participate in the global semiconductor chain. Basically, PADIS grants benefits in the form of financial credits proportional to the investments made by companies in R&D. In addition to credits, companies have several taxes equals to zero, but there is a counterpart for companies, which is to invest at least 5% of their revenue in R&D projects. On these slides, we show some large PADIS numbers, highlighting in the central circles that today we have around 15 companies that benefit from this program. Of these, the majority are companies that specialize in the back-end stage, and even though they are apparently a small number, they represent a significant back-end hub outside of Asia. We consider these a great opportunity for countries that want to complement or diversify their semiconductor supply chain in terms of back-end stage. The next slides. On these slides, in a more didactic way, we show the three main stages of the semiconductors value chain. On the left side, including R&D, which is transversal to all of them. For each of these stages, Brazil developed specific public policies trying to promote the sector and attract investments. In the case of the design stage, several training programs with emphasis on Brazil IC and a specific program, Brazilian program, a two-year training course where students are technically trained and go through periods of internalization to learn about the semiconductor ecosystems in the countries. And finally, a hands-on training stage where students face real company challenges. This resulted in 8 design companies and about 500 designers in Brazil. Okay, these designers now they work abroad. Okay, in the front-end stage, Brazil had 2 attempts. One of them, Unitec, unfortunately was never opened, despite there being a 5,000 square meter clean room structure. The second one, CETEC, is a state-owned company linked to our Ministry of Science and Technology, which operated for approximately 10 years, but which was put into liquidation in the last government in 2002, in 2012. Now, in the current government, the resumption of CETEC is priority, and a group of work has been studying new possibilities and new technological routes for the company. Continuing in the back-end stage, as already mentioned in the previous slides, we have the main hub in the world outside of ASEAN. This was possible thanks to incentives from the Information Technology Law and PADIS. Finally, in the R&D pillar, we have several ICTs and universities that carry out joint projects with companies that benefit from PADIS and, thanks to this policy, are able to acquire modern equipment, and some of them have small clean rooms where new packaging processes are tested. Well, now, and what is happening now in Brazil? We are awaiting the approval of a new broad incentive program for the semiconductor sector, which we can call a Brazilian Act. I believe that Mr. Luiz Felipe Gesteira possible may comment about this new program. We have some training programs running at the moment with emphasis on innovative IC and a new version of the old Brazilian IC program, already mentioned in the previous slides, whose new feature is the entrepreneurship content. The idea here in the new program, it's not only to train designers, but also entrepreneurs who can create a new generation of design house. We are also working on some missions that should take place this year, both to Europe and to the United States, with the aim of getting to know the state of the art of some European and American R&D centers, in addition to trying to attract investments to Brazil. Next year, we plan missions to Asia, probably start with Malaysia, and the South Korea, Japan, Taiwan, and Singapore. The issues of resuming CETEC has already mentioned, have already been commented on previously. It's underway in the Brazilian government, and by the end of the year, this year, the company will be able to operate again. And finally, in relation to R&D projects, we have invested in developments based on RISC-V chips for IoT and also on advanced packaging. The next slides. Okay, this is my last slide. Let's talk about the future. Brazil understands that we are living in a unique moment in the history of semiconductors, caused not only by COVID-19, but also by geopolitical issues. We hope to expand our relationship with other countries involved in development and production of semiconductors. We can collaborate with everyone, and we are open and willing to do so. We know that no country will be able to work alone in this segment, so partnerships are inevitable. We also know that participation of government is essential, that we must be very close to academia and industry. We remember that Brazil has an important back-end hub outside Asia. We have excellent engineers who have been exported to several countries for over 20 years, and we have the only factory in the southern hemisphere about to go into operation again. Therefore, in conclusion, we want to approve the Brazilian Act, we want to expand our semiconductor ecosystem, strengthen our design houses, foster and foster in our design house, diversifying our back end, and attract investment to the front end. Thank you for everyone's attention, and I am available for clarify any doubts. Thank you very much, Mr. Andrew Chan, and all the team that participate of this webinar. Thank you very much again.